Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Liberty Lunch Break from Off the Wire. I am your host, Noel Olin, aka the Cajun Libertarian. I also forgot to say the topic du jour. That's okay. So, what is the topic du jour? An absolutely masterful troll job done. So, we are going to have some fun, and I don't care who it pisses off because you know what, progressives, with your insane anti-science, anti-biology garbage, you made this bed. Now you get to lie in it. Your fault. So, what is the topic du jour? Leftists fuming after Republican councilman identifies as an Indian woman to quote unquote shatter that glass ceiling. And my goodness, is it glorious? Of course, we have pictures and we have videos. So if you're not watching the video on YouTube, you can, man, you just got to. You got to. But also, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, please follow, leave me a 5-star review. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the notifications bell so that every time we go live on Off the Wire, you will know about it. This is going to be an absolutely hilarious one. Shout out to this guy as he just crushes it on the troll job. Again, you can be mad about it. You made this bed. Now, lie in it. Let's go. The Blaze from May 1st. Quote, "It is with great relief that I announce to everyone that I identify as a woman, and not just any woman, but as a woman of color as well. I guess this would make me gay lesbian as well, since I am attracted to women," end quote. Webb, a father of 6, wrote in a Facebook post. But wait, it gets so much better. So much better. This dude is gleaming white, right? Like he's like as white as my wife. Glowing white, super dad bod. Obviously, he's got posts all over the internet. He's like, I saw one with a pistol put in his pant pocket. This guy's clearly trolling, but kudos, my man in Indiana. You or is it Illinois? I think it's Indiana. Just just absolutely fantastic. All right, let's keep going. Quote, "Whew, that felt good to finally get that out there and start living life as my true self. I'm excited to bring some diversity to the county council. Until today, we didn't have any females of color or LGBTQIAPC plus on the council." I literally read that digit for digit. That is not, it's not exaggerative whatsoever. It's glorious. LGBTQIAPC plus on the council. I'm glad that we now do! Exclamation point. He continued, adding, "To avoid confusion, everyone can continue to address me as Ryan or as Councilman Webb. I will also retain my preferred pronouns of he, him, to be a vocal partner of the LGBTQIAPC plus movement." Webb noted that his stunning transition was not only exciting, but historic. Quote, "I am more than likely the very first lesbian woman of color in the history of Delaware County to ever serve on the Delaware County Council." It's just a master troll job. Oh, it's too bad this guy's a Republican. He's probably got some terrible views on government. But this, my man, you win the internet for sure. For like a week at least for 48 hours, you win, dude. Incredible. Quote, "I am more than likely the very first lesbian woman of color in the history of Delaware County to ever serve on the Delaware County Council. I am honored to be the one to shatter that glass ceiling," end quote. Webb recently told Dale Jackson of WVNN that no one from the liberal media or achievement. Wait, what? Oh, sorry. Liberal media or Delaware. I did it again. Democratic establishment has yet contacted him to celebrate or discuss his achievement. This is so good. He also indicated he has yet to receive an endorsement deal from a major brand. Oh man, as I said, it gets better. Absolutely fantastic. Hey, Bud Light, where you at? Where you at? Where you at, Nike? Endorse the man. Endorse him. It's so good. He also indicated, I said that already, sorry. Charlize Jameson, a 67-year-old transvestite in the city council district, decried Webb's denouncement, accusing the Republican of transphobia and bigotry, reported the Muncie Star Press, or something that nobody cares about. Anyway, Jameson castigated Webb online, writing, quote, "Was this really necessary? It's unbecoming of an elected official, or a decent human being for that matter," end quote. Really? Well, I mean, we could talk about what is decent human behavior. Maybe like leave the kids alone. That'd be a good start. But I digress. Kind of. Accusing the Republican of transphobia and bigotry. It's absolutely freaking hilarious, and I am here for it. Webb asked Jameson, Webb is the 67-year-old trans, like if you're 67 years old and you haven't figured out, like who you are in this life. I mean, really, dude, you got some issues you need to work out. And immediately, you're 67. You're 67. Come to terms with reality. What kind of you have not lived a realistic life whatsoever at all. Anyway, let's keep going. Jameson castigated Webb online. I already said that. This is just so hilarious to me. I can't wait to get to the videos. It gets better. It gets better and it gets worse at the same time, because the video responses of these people is actually quite remarkable and really disgusting at the same time. But at this point, what are you going to do? You got to laugh. You just have to. Because we're so far detached from reality or anything that was considered some sort of cohesive moral substance that bound the country together, that bound our society together, like basic truths. I don't know, like men can't become women. And you certainly can't become women if you're a man. And you certainly can't become a person of color if you're white. It's just great. It's great. What do you made the bed. Now you get to lie in it. More of this. Let's keep going. There's a quote that I don't think this article covers that I'm really trying to draw back to mind that was absolutely hilarious. But let's keep reading to see if it gets there. Webb asked Jameson. Webb is the 67-year-old. No, Webb is the Republican official. Jameson is the 67-year-old transvestite. Webb asked Jameson to extend the same compassion he had been given when coming out as a trans person, writing, quote, "When you decided to become a woman, did people tell you it was unbecoming? Sorry, pal, but you don't get to be the decipher of who is acceptable and who isn't." Exactly. I will beat the dead horse. Bed, lie in it. You made it. Man, I was hoping that you and I could become friends now that we're both ladies that used to be men. I'll give you some more time. This guy's great. I mean, again, I probably disagree with a myriad of policy issues, but just a master class in trolling every step of the way. It's fantastic. I was hoping that you and I could be friends now that we're both ladies that used to be men. I'll give you some more time. Quote, Indiana progressives wildly circulated, or that was the end quote, sorry. Indiana progressives wildly circulated Webb's announcement, writing, quote, county council member Ryan Webb mocks the LGBTQ community on Facebook. No, wait. He didn't mock the LGBTQ community on Facebook. He mocked the LGBTQIA. Now I finally butchered it because it just is so hilarious. LGBTQIA PS plus 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 LGBTQIA PC plus plus plus. Remarkable. How long is this acronym going to get? Like it's just going to be just paragraphs long within the next 17 minutes, right? It's historically hilarious. Man, you people need to really get a grip and come back to reality. Like for real. For real. How far we've gotten so far away from we don't want the government in your bedroom, which the vast majority of us agreed with, right? Like we're on your side. You should have the same equal rights as everyone else, regardless of what lifestyle you choose or you think you were not given a choice to have. That's debatable, at the very least. Very debatable. But putting that aside, right? It's just, oh man. Oh, where did I leave off? I keep losing my spot because this is just too fun. This is just a masterclass. Let's see. I'll give you some more time. Indiana progressives wildly circulated Webb's announcement, writing, quote, City Council member Ryan Webb mocks the LGBTQ community on Facebook. What a piece of ish. F.U. Ryan Webb. Oh, no. You guys are very tolerant. Very tolerant. Very, very tolerant. In response to the immediate backlash, Webb stressed that his quote unquote American Indian heritage is not up for debate. I hope that in the future, those asking for tolerance and understanding are willing to give it in return and not just to those who they feel is worthy of it. Nobody has the authority to validate or invalidate any individual who chooses to identify a certain way. Quote, well, this is all a quote, my bad. After various activists called for Webb to be removed from office, the councilman was finally given an opportunity to respond. Quote, you don't get to question me. You do not get to require proof from me. You were part of the movement that helped establish these rules and set the bar. Okay? With a question mark, said Webb. You don't get to come later when someone else joins the club that you don't want in. You don't get to question how I identify. Absolutely fantastic troll job. That's great. Oh, man. Let me show you a picture real quick. Let me get to it. So this is him. This is Ryan Webb. For those of you listening later, here's a before and after picture. It's the same picture. It's the same picture. It's before and after. It's the same picture. It's so great. Oh my God. Now let's get to some video response of it. Oh my goodness.
Person Ryan Webb announced publicly on social media that he now identifies as a lesbian woman of color. If he were serious, I'd sing his praises. But instead, I know better.
In none of my jobs in the last 21 years, and that is many, many jobs, would I have been permitted to mock and disrespect my customers.
And if that were true, we would all be proud of you, and no one would be denying your right to do such things and to identify by your heritage. But your open mockery of these communities is insane.
In order to demand for the resignation of Ryan Webb. The posts Mr. Webb made on April 12th were offensive on many levels.
After hearing these complaints, Ryan Webb responded.
I'm being dead serious. You don't get to question me. You do not get to require proof from me. You were part of the movement to help establish these rules and set the bar.
Touche, Councilman. Touche.
Touche. indeed. Now, what's truly remarkable and disturbing is the people celebrating it like if you were being genuine, then we would sing your praises. Quite literally. What? No. And then they go on to say what you're doing is insane? No. What you're doing by literally saying that you'd sing his praises if he was genuine? No, that's insane. That's insane. And you people are a joke. You've turned this has gotten so far out of control that we have to address it. We have to. And we have to celebrate when you get destroyed via mockery because of it. Come back to reality. You deranged psychopaths. That's it. Easy peasy. Come back to reality and let's get back to the basics. The government has no job interfering in your bedroom activities. That's it. If you're a woman, you're a woman. If you're a man, you're a man. You can't, there's no amount of hormone therapy or surgical interventionism that is going to change that. It's just not. And you know that this is the thing, right? Like, it's not controversial to say that. You've just tried to make it controversial, but it's not. Everyone knows it, including yourself. Period. So cope. Deal with it. Come back to reality and stop falling for the Maoist type cultural revolution that you've been the product of said propaganda of. Come back to reality. End of discussion. Because at this point, you're forcing us to take a hard stance on saying, if this is the route you're going to take, then we have to push back. Because you're denying basic truth. Truth that has been around for the entirety of humanity. Men are men, women are women, and that's it. There's no denying that. There's no amount of scientific study about how gender is on a spectrum that disproves the fact that in 1,000 years we can dig up your dead body, your skeleton. Guess what? We will literally be able to identify you by sex and nothing else. Draw the DNA out of your bone, the DNA, the written codes of you that is unique to you. Never on the planet has there been a person with your DNA, fingerprints, and vocal cords. And never, ever, ever will that ever happen again. You are unique. And your DNA code is embedded in you. So come back to reality and find out who you actually are. And God forbid I say who you were created to be, because that's the reality. You can hate it, but it is a fact that you were divinely created in a very special way, because you are a very special person. So find out who that person is and base that in reality and science and come back. I'm going to leave it right there. Galatians 2:20. I'll see you tomorrow, and I'm out.